Hey everybody, welcome to Bucketman Scouting, aka Shadowband Scouting. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about this first preseason game of the Walmart Generals versus the Indianapolis Colts. So, also next week, I will be providing a all 22 film breakdown of this first preseason game. You're not going to get that anywhere else from these Walmart General content creators that will not put out the film. They will put out highlight reels, and there's a difference between highlight reels and the all-22 film. So let's get into this film breakdown. Also, I just want to shout out my co-host, Chop the Liver. He is on vacation right now. Hopefully he gets back soon so we can do more of these previews and talk about the games at Denver Broncos Mile High View. No commercials, no bullshit. I encourage everyone to go check out that because our track record is impeccable compared to these Walmart General content creators. So let's talk about the Walmart General's 53-man roster. It's one of the worst rosters in the National Football League, and I believe the worst in the National Football League. You have Bo Nix, again, doesn't fit the Sean Payton offense. He's more of a spread concept quarterback in which Sean Payton doesn't run. He likes to run the ball. He likes to attack the short to intermediates. And again, every video I have seen so far coming out of Walmart General's training camp is them focusing on the 20-plus yard throws. Everybody's making Bo Nix out to be the next Drew Brees. He is not a Drew Brees-esque quarterback. Again, Bo Nix reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson, Brandon Whedon, guys that aren't pocket awareness type quarterbacks. They bail out of the pocket more times than not. He's a one-read quarterback, in my personal opinion. I did a all-22 film breakdown on Bo Nix coming out of Oregon and also Auburn, and a lot of those weaknesses that have been shown true have been true so far. And when Bo Nix has a great throw, it's against no rushers, or it's against the offense, or it's against our defensive line, who, again, still is applying pressure on this terrible offensive line for the Walmart Generals, who continues to hold players, choke hold players, so on and so forth. The offensive line for the Walmart Generals is one of the worst offensive lines in the National Football League. It is not a top 10 offensive line. And if our defensive line is getting pressure on Bo Nix, then that is a cause for concern for me and for Chop the Liver and for the great Mile High Bubble, the Bubble Man. And people that actually have common sense and that actually understand the game of football. You also have the running game. I believe the running back room is the strength for the Walmart Generals. But again, are they going to utilize it? That's a question that I need answered, because do I believe that the Walmart Generals are going to stick to this running game? I absolutely do not agree, and I don't have faith in this front office. I don't have faith in this coaching staff, and I don't have faith in this organization to do so. I believe the wide receiver room has a lot of weaknesses. You have Cortland Sutton, again, is another overhyped John Elway player. You have Tim Patrick, who's very injury prone. I like Tim Patrick when he stays healthy, but it's a question about, is he going to stay healthy? That's the big question. I believe Tim Patrick over the past couple of years when he was healthy was better than Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton when he was on the field. In the all-22 film backs that up. You have Marvin Mims. Again, I was wrong about Marvin Mims coming out of Oklahoma, but the one thing that rang true was he was relegated a punt and kick returner. So you basically in the second round drafted a punter and kick returner. A punt and kick returner, my apologies. And then we go to Troy Franklin. Again, more of a one-tool type of receiver. Doesn't get off the line of scrimmage with ease. Is just a straight-line receiver. And again, you can go and look at the live stream that I did when we were covering the draft where I said they're going to get Troy Franklin here. And that rang true. You also have Josh Reynolds, who they massively overpaid. If he was a great receiver or a good receiver, to be quite frank with you, then why did the Detroit Lions not re-sign him? There's a reason why Detroit let him go, just like they let Graham Glasgow go when the Walmart Generals signed him a couple years ago. Josh Reynolds is a poor man's version of Lil Jordan Humphrey. I believe Lil Jordan Humphrey has higher upside than Josh Reynolds because of his age, how big he is, how physical he is. And I believe Lil Jordan Humphrey is our best run blocker on the Walmart Generals. Again, I'm more excited to see what Lil Jordan Humphrey, Brandon Johnson can do because those are young up-and-coming receivers, unlike Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Josh Reynolds, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims. I do like Marvin Mims to some degree, but again, I didn't see enough of him. When he was able to play and start in that lineup, he showed some flashes that I liked. But again, it's all about consistency with him. And again, when you're just going to put him to punt and kick returner and just use him like that, then again, you're not utilizing him to his full potential, in my personal opinion. The offensive line, like I stated earlier, you have Garrett Holtz. The depth on the offensive line is dog shit. Ben Powers, again, I liked Ben Powers. I liked the signing when it happened. But again, I also was grounded in reality. He's coming from Baltimore, where he played next to Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum, and he's going to play next to Garrett Holtz and Lloyd Cushenberry or Alex Forsythe or Luke Wattenberg. I mean, come on, folks. Let's just be real. The center position is a massive question mark. And and the funny thing is, the videos that these Walmart General fans are hyping up, again, you're getting pressure on the edge, you're getting pressure up the middle. Again, that's a bad sign. Quentin Miners is the best offensive lineman on the team. I love Quentin Miners. I loved the pick coming out of Wisconsin Whitewater. There is video evidence of this at Denver Broncos Mile High View. I remember Walmart General fans dogging on the pick because, he wasn't a sexy player. He wasn't a sexy wide receiver pick. So, think again, folks. And then you have Mike McFlinchey, one of the most overpaid right tackles, or one of the most overpaid players in the National Football League, hands down. The defense for the Walmart Generals, again, the defensive front, still a massive question mark. The linebackers, a massive question mark. The secondary, a massive question mark. Again, we have Patrick Surtain. Yeah, Patrick Surtain, again, isn't a Champ Bailey. He's not a game-changing corner, in my personal opinion. He gets exposed by elite route runners, speedy receivers that have elusiveness. That has been shown on the field time and time again. He got exposed by DJ Moore. He's been exposed when Henry Ruggs, before he killed a person and went to jail. He gets exposed. He got exposed by Tyreek Hill. He gets exposed by these players. If he was a great corner, he would actually be able to hold his own. Champ Bailey held his own against guys like Steve Smith, against guys like that were way better than the receivers that we have now in today's NFL. Safety room, massive question mark. Again, this team for the Walmart Generals, there's no difference makers. There's no playmakers. Yeah, you have good players here and there. Yeah, you have a Quentin Miners, you have a Javonte Williams, but Javonte Williams looks like he's getting killed by this team, like we predicted. Now let's circle to the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not a big fan of Anthony Richardson, the quarterback. I believe he's a 10-cent head, strong arm, Lamar Jackson type quarterback. You have Joe Flacco there. I think he, behind the offensive line over there in Indianapolis, that is actually a top 10 offensive line. It's not a paper tiger offensive line. It's actually a top 10 offensive line. I think he's going to do some good things, especially being a good backup. He got killed in Denver just like all these other quarterbacks. Jonathan Taylor, the offense runs through Jonathan Taylor. They are a run-first football team in Indianapolis, and Shane Steichen is more of a run-first spread concept type quarterback, or head coach, my apologies. The receiving core, they actually have some decent receivers. Michael Pittman is a good-bodied receiver, better than Cortland Sutton. They have Alex Pierce. They have the guy from Texas that they drafted, Josh Downs, Juwan Winfrey. You also have Tyreek Cleveland. Those two are going to have a chip on their shoulder to prove against the Walmart Generals, and those are facts because they killed those two receivers. And Tyreek Cleveland was actually showing stuff over Jerry Jeudy, and he was put in the doghouse just like all these other players. So another guy that they killed. The tight end room, I love Jelani Woods, again, like I said earlier, and I've said in past videos, Jelani Woods and Isaiah Likely were way better than Greg Dulcich coming out of college. I said that years ago, and it still stands true. I am excited to see what Jelani Woods does. Mo Alley Cox is their blocker. Again, you have some things there in Indianapolis. They have a better 53-man roster. They have better depth than the Walmart Generals. The offensive line, Bernard Perriman, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Willie Frice, Braden Smith, their backups are solid. That fit the fucking system, folks. Defensively, 4-3 cover 3 system with split safety concepts. You also with Gus Bradley at the helm. That defensive line is the strength of that defense. Again, they can go 2-3 deep on their defensive line. Linebacking, coverage type, sideline to sideline linebackers. Their secondary is their weakness, in my personal opinion. So the Walmart Generals could exploit that if they wanted to. But again, the thing that I am going to keep an eye on here is what are the Walmart Generals going to throw at the Colts offensively? Is it going to be they're going to run the football, they're going to run the Sean Payton offense, or are we going to get the Pat Shurmur 20-plus yards, 5 fucking wide receiver sets? That's the question here, folks. Again, I'm not going to predict scores here, okay? That's not what we do here at Bucket Man Shadow Band Scouting. We talk about the roster and the construction of rosters, okay? So, again, who has the better roster? The Colts. What version of the Colts are we going to get? That's the question. So, this is my preview of the Walmart Generals versus the Indianapolis Colts. Again, an all-22 film breakdown will drop next week sometime. So, take care. Football is back, folks.